what's wild is that in this 21st century universe, these 21st century brains that we have, there is so much stuff that everybody all the time is just trying to jam pack into our minds. There's so much stuff that we could spend our attention on, and like way more than we ever have in human history. And the reality is we're just not built for all of this. We have these limited attention spans. And the only effective way to live your life is to basically ignore almost everything. If you think about it, that's true. I mean, how many commercials do we see for God knows what on TV? Freaking everything on the internet. Before you can even look at like what you're trying to get to, there's an ad for something, for who knows what. And they're just the most ridiculous, like obscure niche random products. I got a freaking ad today for a one of those mobile tire pumps. You know, it's like the size of your iPhone, and you just hook it up to your tire when your wheel goes flat, and you just hit the button and it blows up. Like, what use do I have for that? I guess if my tire goes flat, but I have no idea why I even saw that. And I'm going to forget about it by tomorrow, because that's how my brain works. And it's not just my brain. It's literally everybody's brain. We can't pretend like we have the capacity for all of this stuff. And so the thing that I've been thinking about recently is, as we add all of this stuff into our lives, how much of the incremental stuff above and beyond what we actually need, this incremental stuff that we stuff into our brains, is actually additive to the quality of our life, right? How much of the stuff that we actually spend energy on actually like produces satisfaction? I don't know. What's funny, I guess, is we don't really internalize this, but we outsource most of the stuff in our life, like in general. Yeah, you know, the car example is, I guess, pretty easy, but I also didn't make the car. I didn't make my iPhone. I didn't put these clothes together. I didn't build this house. I didn't filter the water that I'm drinking. You know, almost everything that I deal with, I've completely outsourced. And I think that the reason that people feel so overwhelmed, I was talking about last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, how when you ask people questions, like the default response from everybody is just, I don't know. Hey, where do you want to go eat? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know that. Nobody knows anything because there's all this crap flying around in our brains. And we have the entire internet in our pocket at all times. And the more stuff that you have in your brain, the more stuff there is to get out of the way when you're trying to figure out an answer to a question. It's like freaking Where's Waldo in my brain all the time. So we don't think about, like, you know, to what degree is thinking about money or politics or your HOA board or whatever the heck goes on in everybody's brain. To what degree is all of this stuff actually beneficial to our life, and to what degree do we need to outsource everything? I would say there's basically two things in general that you functionally can't outsource. I have not figured out a way to do it. If I could, maybe I would. But there are basically two things, and it's health and relationships. That's it, right? Now, there's a million subcategories to both of those things, and go on the internet and, you know, you can break that down. And I really think that those two things probably encompass, let's say, 95% of the things that could possibly happen to you, right? Health and relationships. Sure, you know, if health is like sleep and diet and exercise, and then there's a bunch of different things about that. But if you're not healthy, you just die, right? Relationships, whether you want to have relationships or not. Here's the thing. You actually need other people. You cannot function without other people. There are people everywhere. Even if you don't want to talk to them, you have to like go around them, deal with them. They get in your way. So to some level, you cannot argue with the fact that relationships matter. As much as I wish I could just hide in a closet all day and not talk to anybody, it's impossible. Yet here I am talking to all of you who are watching this, maybe. Everything else beyond health and relationships in your life that you choose to take on is simply adding complexity to your life, okay? It's true.